Hello, welcome to the workshop. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to try something a little different, a 360-degree tour of my workspace. So this is as it looks currently. A lot of mess, a lot of chaos, but I thought it'd be good to talk through some of the projects that I've been working on. The latest is this one here. So come on over. This one is going to be my entry into the Hackaday Build a Cyberdeck competition that ends at the end of this month. So we're nearly there, and there is a video short showcasing what it's looking like so far. So yeah, that's my Cyberdeck entry. This one here, along the workbench, is an idea that I did have, but sort of fizzled out. And you'll notice as you look around the place, there are lots of unfinished projects dotted everywhere. This one was my advice box. Everyone needs some advice at some point, so I tried to monetize it. You put your coin in the slot and the screen lights up and dishes out some good advice, some good live tips for you to take away. It works, it runs off a microbit, and it currently plays the sunscreen song when you put your money in. The big projects are on the other side. So these ones, this one's my telephone booth. So we have here a BT phone, and the idea was that as more and more payphones are being decommissioned, that we can sort of repurpose them to encourage more people to use them. So I've hacked this BT payphone, and it has its own bespoke operating system. So if we go into the booth, we have a handy little telephone directory here. So options 1, 2 and 3 are the serious side of the project. So option 1, so if we dial option 1 from the booth, we can make free phone calls. And this is an idea to help bridge that digital divide, because not everybody has access to smartphones, but everybody needs to make a call at some point in their lives, don't they? And for those who can't afford to make those phone calls or don't have access to that kind of technology, then why not repurpose the old payphones to offer free phone calls? In addition to that, option 2 is free mailbox facilities. So people might be able to make a call, but they might be expecting a response back. So we can offer free mailbox facilities as well. And dial 3 for help and support. So imagine these booths, telephone boxes dotted all around the city. We are able to hook into local helplines and provide people with direct access to those. And now the project takes a more less serious side. So number 4, dial 4 for the operator. So it's like an AI operator I've coded, a bit like Alexa, but more fun. Number 5 is dial-a-disc. So it harks back to the old dial-a-disc days. And when you go into a phone box, you can dial a disc and it will play the latest hits over the phone to you. Number 6 is it will dial a random payphone, and over the last year, hundreds of volunteers have helped me out enormously gathering payphone numbers, and I can cover the whole country. So dialing option 6 from my network will hook you up with a random payphone anywhere in the country, and hopefully somebody will pick up and you can have a conversation with them. Dial 7 to get the local tour guide, so it will hopefully point out points of interest that you can see from your telephone box. Number 8, I was a bit pushed for options now, scraping the bottom of the barrel, but number 8, you can dial and hear Bob Ross. Yeah, no other reason than who doesn't like Bob Ross. And number 9 is the Zoltar, so you can actually dial Zoltar next door, as I'll show you in a second, and he'll tell you your fortune. So I think it would be a really good idea to start dialing these payphone numbers that I've been collecting over the last year, and see who picks up. Maybe we can sort of sew them all together to make a little podcast or live stream videos of me dialing away. I think that'll be a really good idea. Next door, as I mentioned, is the Zoltar. And Zoltar is my coin-operated animatronic fortune teller. And Zoltar has been on a few adventures this summer to Comic Cons and events. He is in need of a little bit of repair, just a small bit, because building these things is one thing, but building them with a view to transporting them is a completely different way of looking at a project. And I soon learned that the way I originally built him didn't make it easy at all to transport. So we're currently going through a bit of refurbishment in order to make him more transportable, so we can get him to more events later on. But yeah, he was really well met over the summer. First time I've done events, and it was quite exciting. Loved meeting people, and hopefully we can get him out quite soon to other events in the area. And over here, if you follow me, this is my old arcade cabinet running Retropie. Yeah, made from an old cupboard. But ideally, I'd like to get it in a booth as well. So we have a nice selection of different booths that we can choose from. If we come round here, we have just a table of rubbish. Incidentally, another payphone. There are projects going on at the minute in this county and the next county, and we are looking at putting in a bespoke telephone system into towns and cities to offer useful and vital services, like I mentioned before, to the local residents who need it. And we're currently going through a funding application at the minute, which is really exciting. But not only do I have my BT phones, I also have the I had to look at installing it into payphone units such as this one here. Next to it, we've just got an array of slot machines, toy slot machines. These are from a house clearance, so I thought it'd be best to snap it up. But next to it is the big one, is the big fruit machine. Now this isn't working, so it's a work in progress. It came from a local army base, and I'm slowly piecing it together, getting it into a working order, but not quite there yet. But it's still just a quirky thing to have in the workshop. Further along, we have the jars. Now, we've recently moved, and the person who was here very kindly left jars of everything you can imagine. It's like a hardware store here. For example, we've got screws, we've got bike reflectors, fuses, brackets, anything you can think of, it'll be in here. Unfortunately, he took away with him a few of the jars, like number 1, 3, 4, 6 and 7, so I have no idea what was in them. Probably something good, really. But I can make good use of what was left behind, so it's brilliant. I'm very grateful for what was gifted to me. And because we move, I'm sure everybody has their own pile of rubbish and things yet to unpack. So this is my corner of things that I've yet to unpack after moving in. Most of it can be sent to the tip, but I've got to sort it through yet. So I bet if I do another workshop update video in a year's time, this would not have changed. These boxes will still be here, but I'm determined to get through them bit by bit. It's just one of those jobs that nobody likes doing, really. But yeah, this is the workshop, and I hope you have a good explore and see what's around. As I said, it's mostly made up of a few of my big projects, but also a lot of my unfinished projects. But yeah, There we go. That's the tour, the 360-degree tour of the workshop.